Hello everybody, my name is Tanner, and this time I will be playing um I forgot James Speedy Mongoose Parkour. And yes, I've already played this map, but I kind of forgot how. I think it was like a few months already, a few months ago, so I kind of forgot how to play. Oh my goodness. So I made my first failure already, as you can see. My second failure right there. This is off to a great start. Anyway, I am chilling right now with my pillow in my neck. My position is a bit weird, but I need to be as relaxed as possible while I'm talking. I don't know what I will be yapping, so please be comfortable. I'll be yapping a lot of things today. I think I will first tackle the nature of morality and geopolitics. Does morality have a, what do you call that? Have a room in geopolitics? Yes, mostly, and at the same time, very rarely. As you can see, realpolitik is what the term that they use. I don't really know where it originated, but that's the term that I've heard. Is they use this to as a way to justify current political events by realpolitik. The reason why is because in our society nowadays a general population is often ignorant, or at the very least have no prior place or have no understanding of the current events of the world. They do, however, greatly thanks to social media nowadays. People could chime in almost real time to the events that is happening, to the plans of the leaders. They couldn't even keep up, and I kept failing. Wow. So this will be a long discussion. I do hope it will not be as annoying as I can. I'll try my best. So why would I tackle this? I just find it interesting. So let's start. Morality and geopolitics, or politics in general. Why are they not interchangeable, or at the very least, why are both not fitted to one another? Let's say you have a good moral complex. Good moral compass. You have a good moral compass. You don't want to hurt other people, so you go out your way to make everyone happy. That's good, right? And that benefits some, but no doubt that it will have caused angers for majority. No, I'll take it back. What I mean to have good moral complex is that a type of person would often try to call out bad things from other nations or even its own nations. So you get me? You get a good moral complex, good moral compass. You see what's bad, you call it out and say that that's evil, we should do this and be better. That's a good moral compass, I think. The ability to do good, or to do good, plan good, everything without agenda behind. So that's a good moral compass. And then we have the gray area between good and bad. This is where most leaders are in, or at the very least politicians, because they have to deliver something for their own nation, for their own voters. So let's say a leader, we don't need to be like democratic or whatever. They need to deliver something for their people, their nation. So correct me if keep in mind before you, of course, listen to my yapping. Whatever I'm talking right now could be wrong and entirely inaccurate. So I implore you to do research just to be better. Anyways, so why am I yapping if I don't know much about it? Well, I just like to talk. I'm bored. If I just play and say, oh, I did this, or I did that, I managed to pass that, yay. I sometimes do that when I concentrate, but it just feels boring, like compared to when I add something to spice the gameplay, you know? Understanding about geopolitics is very essential in this day and age. Sometimes it gives me stress too about what's happening in the world, and no doubt Why does one give stress is because you have empathy. For example, a nation who is being terrorized or oppressed is calling out help, and to call help, they only do it through social media by activism. And even with that, it's still not enough because the enemy nation is so powerful with their weapons, and you are left there with the bitterness of reality that it's always the strong against the weak, and you would often get stress like, why is the world so cruel, etc. And then you realize that that's the nature. Everyone has to be this way. So why does everyone has to be this way? The how to be cruel, why does ambition, etc. I guess that's what makes humanity so complex. We each have our own goals, egos, agendas. You could even have, like, I could even give an example of a character named Christian Avasarala from The Expanse. Basically, she was a brutal. She's basically your typical politician, not a typical, but a one that sees for the greater good, which means that she will burn down bridges to do that. I mean, that's pretty brutal, extreme, yes, but she's right. But at the same time, as the show progresses, she slowly changes. She changes her stance. She notices that her actions are so brutal that even her husband, who is a psychologist and a teacher, tries to implore her to do better. She was even scared. She was using tactics just to win the election that she was running. And yeah, sometimes our pride gets to us. We will do underhanded tactics just to win. We have to win. We have to beat them back. Something like that. So as a result of that, we often engage in such cases which affects everybody. You may be saying this is for the greater good, but yes, indeed it's for the greater good, but can you handle the things that you will be doing? Now those are the difficult stuff, which is why not everyone could be leaders. I think we've been deviating from discussion, so I'll be reverting back to what I was talking earlier. I was talking about morality and geopolitics. So why are they not interchangeable again and not compatible against one another? Because if you have a good moral compass, like what I said earlier, you will be subjected to compromises. I mean, that's good, but what I mean is that you would often engage too much on conviction and judgment, and often that, yes, that is justifiable. You just want justice. I mean, everyone wants that. But the thing is, these sort of leaders should be the exception in my opinion, because they have a role that's just so far different compared to the normal folk, because they have to think about the future and I mean, it's very cliche that for the greater good, but it really is when you think about it. Like, if you follow, for example, I'll give you one example of a decision that actually doomed Europe. Not really doomed, but it was a quote from the former prime minister before Churchill. I think his name was Chamberlain Neville. So what he said when Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia, I think he said, I don't know, I don't really know much, but I do remember what he said. Good intentions are paved. I forgot. I think it was all good intentions are paved the way for hell. It's something about that. I forgot. Maybe I'm wrong. And yeah, basically that's some. I think I should do research. Hold on. I'm now on checkpoint 11, so that's good. We are almost halfway there. Oh, the road to hell leads by good. The road to hell, I didn't research, I just remembered now. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, that's basically what he said. So the good intention is that he tried to compromise to Hitler. And we all know Hitler is a lunatic. He has this ambition and everything. And these are the dangerous types of people, like Thanos, that I gave example from before, is that they want to do some. Yes, that's another factor that's dangerous about these leaders, is that I didn't fart. So I didn't fart. Okay, I just moved my chair. I remember a comment by Mike. I think it was Mike. He said that, did I fart? I didn't. I just moved. I'll do it again. There, I moved my chair. So what was I talking about? I think I'm deviating a bit. So yeah, what I mean to say is that all a leader shouldn't be entirely good moral compass, because that will cloud the judgment to be rash, to be think about good versus evil, because not everything is about that. Yes, there are some extreme cases, but what I meant to say is that this sort of situation demands for you to be pragmatic and be realistic. There is always trades. For example, oh, we should be doing this because it's for the good, so we should be giving this away, and then in doing so, it will just give an upper hand to the enemy or to your opponent, and one day it will use it against you. So what do I mean by this? For example, there's a land territory. In order to maintain peace, you basically just gave it just to remain peace, and eventually these let's say egoistic nationalist type of individual or leader that you have had negotiations with would turn 180 and betray you and use that specific land against you. So what I mean by that is that your land is your land is ripe with natural resources, and he used the natural resources against you. So yeah, let's go back. So I did mention about why leaders has to detach themselves. It has to be pragmatic, because making decisions is not easy. Like, for example, if you are a moral compass leader, you will be like, oh, I'll be doing this, and then you sometimes be naive, okay, in situations. For example, there is one group being oppressed and you are condemning a powerful nation. Of course, that's good, you to condemn it, and brave, yes, but there are downsides to it. What if that strong nation, for example, has a very strong economic leverage, and doing accusations or condemning would have terrible impacts on your nations, and then eventually when you get damaged enough, they will invade you and you are the next victim. So we got that tricky, very complex scenarios where you just have to lick their boots just to survive. And it's very frustrating, yes, but sometimes we are left with no choices but to engage in this sort of discussions, because that's the only way to survive. So either you compromise or you uncompromise. It's about the future of your nation. So yeah, that's why leaders shouldn't entirely be moral good guys. They should be capable to think outside of the box. They should be capable to like think long term, not just short term. And again, this is the reason why there's corruption, because people like this often takes advantage of the system of doing for the greater good by enriching themselves, enriching their shareholders, and etc. And yeah, that's a tragedy. Complex stuff is often taken advantage of by people, corrupt people, magnetic to the corruptible. Frank Herbert once said that it isn't that power attracts corrupted people, but it is magnetic to the corruptible. Yes, I mean, I think because it magnets them, basically. It's very attracting. I think it's the same code, attracting. It's just that he used a different term, in my opinion. Maybe I didn't get the full gist of the code. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, yeah, so I think the gray area type of leadership is what we should be focusing on, because this way gray area leadership could think. I'm not saying that moral good things cannot think, but what I mean to say is that people like this are very prone to quick decision makings and very pragmatic, compared to a moral good complex who is very rash, would often overthink. So yeah, I think it's best that such decisions are left to the moral gray area type of people, because they are capable of thinking both good and bad. So that's why. Or maybe it depends entirely on people. It's just really difficult to grasp. Sometimes all the applications, all the techniques, all the guides don't work on that specific area. Sometimes it's very complex. You can't just say, oh, no, because there's more to it. Yeah. Honestly, that's the sad part, is that humankind will always fight among themselves. Even if we are in the cosmos, interstellar type. So yeah, I guess I don't know if I can conclude, but I'm pretty disappointing with my discussion, to be honest. But I guess we're halfway now. We're at checkpoint 16. James Speedy Mongoose. I'm running out of air actually. I'm gonna pause. I think I should move on, or maybe left that discussion for another video, or maybe I don't know if I pick it up. So basically, I think the next video could be about the future of our world, climate change. So the answer is, why is climate change so hard? For the last 50 years, people have been struggling, or at the very least have made great breakthroughs. We got solar panels, wind, renewables basically. And still, there are still some factors on pollution and etc. So why? Why is this a thing? Well, gotta appease the shareholders. Companies that are into fossil fuels, heavy fossil fuels, often engage in trying to make money. And what would humanity be, or us Earthers will be in the future with AI? It could go both ways. I've seen a few videos that says it could be an apocalyptic event where we're basically just in a subsidized, barely healthcare system where it could be enough to make us survive, and at the same time, the robots do all the work instead of us, so we will no longer make money because the robots will become cheaper compared to humans, and that's the inevitable reality. I think one of the scariest examples of this apocalyptic event would be Cyberpunk is the one bigger example, but there is one example that I am also interested in, is a TV series. Got the name? Forgot what the name. Wait, what? I know Cyberpunk. Yes. What was that name again?
Checkpoint.
I think it was. Honestly, I forgot. Sorry. Forgot how to do this, so I'll just notice that you need to climb a bit. Wow. So much for bumping my head there. We are at 18 minutes, so maybe sub 30. I don't think sub 30 is possible, but maybe sub 40. Seriously? This is on local mode. I can't even get there. Alright, maybe let's move on. I don't know what to talk about next. Why did I stop? I adjusted the microphone. Why am I slipping? I guess I need all the momentum I need. I'm adjusting myself because I got a bit lazy. So, what will be the future of humans? It could be, oh, I remember now. I remember that movie. I think it was Elysium, whatever it's pronounced. It's basically all the millionaires, all the rich, all the 1% are living in a artificial ring planet, basically just above the Earth, or maybe between the moon, and all the poors are left on Earth. So basically, yeah, they siphoned most of the food, most of the resources for themselves or the 1% or their shareholders rather than for their whole population. And eventually, they do not care anymore because we are no longer humans to them. And honestly, this is the hard part to navigate for the future of us. So what will be the best way to maintain advanced tech while at the same time people having jobs? I mean, they could work on maintenance, yes, but that's no longer viable if it's like all the common jobs, all the everyday jobs has been replaced by robots. So what would happen to humans? Eventually, I think. Honestly, I don't know. If the rich got richer, if there are no regulations against the rich and they got to make all the rules for themselves, all the companies that belong to them, well, that will be a terrifying thought, terrifying reality too, as no one could stop them. And either it could lead to a rebellion or a mass rebellion when that inevitability comes. Well, to be honest, humans are very prone for the same mistakes because we don't live forever. So the mistakes that we learned are often repeated because the generations that learned it was not there. Experience always comes very, very important when it comes to these situations because a person who only heard about it will be cautious. Yes, they'll be. It's different to practice in theory. Basically, if you have like a data like robotics, it will. I mean, it's the. In order to pass, you need to You need to make it and be practical. Make it working. So all the theories that these past generations inherited about from their ancestors about such mistakes, they would repeat it mostly because they never underwent it. And even if they see it or heard accounts of it, maybe right now it will be a bit better because we have advanced cameras to see for real time and effects, everything in high quality. Well, that's the thing. Experience has a vast difference compared to just knowing about it. What was this discussion about? I actually forgot. I think it was about AI. Once more, I mean the AI takeover. So speaking of AI takeover, I honestly think that the tripling the defense budget is really good. Why? Because I just love advanced military aircraft, advanced military weapons, technologies, etc. I just love them. Radars, electronic warfare, planes, guns, tanks, navy ships. Like, it's just so beautiful, and I just hate to see it be reduced to prioritize healthcare. No, healthcare should not be prioritized, in my opinion. Because you can't have healthcare if your enemy is at your doorstep. The only way to not let that happen is to triple the defense budget. Triple the defense budget. Triple the defense budget. I wish, I yearn, the world yearns for another world war. Just kidding. Anyways, that's why I love nukes. I just love something explosive. Like, I used to watch when I was a kid, I used to watch movies about, atomic bombs. World War II, I was so addicted to it. Yeah. I think I should settle the discussion for the AI, and I'll probably tackle it someday, or maybe if I remember it. But right now, I guess we should move on to the third topic. We are checkpoint 22. So I guess we're a bit close now. Honestly, I don't think when I play, I was just navigating my way while I'm talking, which is weird. Wait, I can stand here? No, I think there's some sort of hidden secret there by Zaiqahal, I think. Yeah, Zaiqahal is the creator of this map, so you can check my description for his username if you're interested in this map too, for you to download. Basically, I will spell it out for you. Zaiqahal. Wait, Zaiqahal. No, Zaiqahal. Zaiqahal. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. This is what happens when I don't study. I mean, after graduation. I think this is the problem with me is that after I study something, I just forgot about it once I'm done with it. Unless if it's something niche or something that I'm passionately like geopolitics, history, and basically whatever. So, I don't really know what to talk about. Alright, let's talk about something in the military. So there are some things like factions in the military, of course, yes. There are the reformers and there are the innovators. So basically, I guess there are three. The reformers yearn for the old thing. And there are the maintainers, the one that maintains the current thing, so that the logistics and etc. could be survivable for the next 50 to 100 years. And then there are the innovators, which are so ambitious but also can't see what's ahead. So basically these three are just the two of them, the reformers and innovators, are absurd, but sometimes they bring vast impact. Rarely. Why rarely? Because their inventions would often lead to a major breakthrough that could change economically. There is a motorcycle that's very annoying with its tube. I don't know why. I guess the regulations in the Philippines doesn't give a crap about such a things, such as noise pollution. Anyways, again, what I'm talking about is that. What was I talking about? Wait. Well, at least I pass it here. I guess if I don't think, or I try to think to remember it, I somehow pass through it. Huh. Interesting tickle. Wait. I thought it's connected. I mean, not connected, but the way at the tip when you try to ascend is connected, but it's not. Please don't fall, tickle. Tickle me! I won't tickle. Tickle! Ah! Tickle! Ah! Anyway, so about the what was I talking about? Oh my goodness, short-term memory loss. I have short-term memory loss, bros. It's Joe over. Oh, military. Reformers, maintainers, and innovators. Let's talk about the reformers. Reformers are basically just guys that wants to update the old things or the current things. So they want to add something. Like, for example, a lot of reformers want to make. We all know that battleships have no place in modern history because battleships are big, slow, and they're basically very vulnerable to long-range missiles. What made battleships obsolete is aircraft, yes, and aside from that, missiles too. And because of the advancement in missiles are much more cheaper than maintaining a whole battleship fleet. So back then, during the First World War, or before even the First World War, you got the naval arms race between the German Empire and the German Empire against the British Empire. So basically, two of these guys are trying to compete. Spoiler alert, they're basically family, nephews, both in the throne. Kaiser William II and King George were cousins. I don't know what King George, I forgot, but King George. Basically, all their grandmother is Queen Victoria. Yeah. So much for royalty. World War One was basically a incest. Just kidding. Family affair. Family drama affair. I mean, that would be weird to visualize. Like, family war. It's crazy. One of the most destructive conflicts in human history is a feud between families. Yeah, that's the reason why we don't need such leaders or monarchy back, because they can't think for pragmatic. The only good side about it is that they can have like forever status. I mean, what I mean is that they could rule for how long they could live, and because of that, they could have they could implement advanced policies that could back everybody else. At the same time, it could damage such nations if they have bad policies. So it's really hard. This is why we have gatekeepings for such people if they ever to get in power too much. I didn't reach that. And yeah, we have that. It's called the Constitution. If you violate Constitution, well, I mean certainly not like being in the files. Definitely suspicious thing, but I don't know. I guess some people just have immunity. Who was shocker, right? The 1% are immune to the laws against them, and somehow if they crash the economy, they get bailed out. And the tragic thing under that administration during that time, during that financial crisis, is that they had no choice but to bail them out. Why? Because if they don't, then the economy will be crashing. The whole world will implode. And at the time, that person or that leader seems compelled to just bail them out, even if he hates the banks. Why? Because his advisor told him that you can hate all the banks you want. So would you rather do that, punish them and then make the economy crash, or bail them out and then move on? Yes, there are some problems, but move on. Yeah, that's the thing though. That's a tragedy. Once they become too big to fail, they could no longer be punished, and as such, they are very prone to corruption. They could easily misuse the people's money, basically. It's crazy. But our shareholders are very important, bro. Just kidding. I don't know what's in here, so I'm just gonna drive. Do hope I made it. Yes, 27. 30 minutes. Alright. I should move on. What should I talk about? Oh, reformers, maintainers, and innovators. So innovators rarely come because when they do, social politics, and basically the environment changes with it. One of the big examples is the breakthrough of the atomic bomb. So warfare basically changed the doctrine. At the start of the atomic bomb, when both the Soviets and the US had it, they only had it basically just mass spam it. If there's a aircraft or nuke coming in from the US, the USSR will basically just spam it, spam defense. If the US will do the same, mutually assured destruction basically. So yeah, doctrines change and etc. Those are innovators, such as the machine gun, the
checkpoint reached.
some things that made breakthroughs through history. Machine guns, radar, stealth technology. There's probably more that I forgot. HMS Dreadnought for the battleships. Again, this is where we go in. Oh crap! Reformers are basically the ones that yearns the old ways or the old things and trying to update it. For example, battleships are useless, right? Because they're big, bulky, and missile is much cheaper and can destroy them in one hit. Basically, reformers or the battleship reformers would often try to convince lobbying that, at the very least, to still use battleships by attaching missiles to it, even if battleships are slow, much more costly to maintain. Okay, I didn't know where I'm going, so I should be going there, and etc. Basically, a cruiser or a destroyer is much cheaper than a battleship because they are like smaller and efficient. Battleships are big, needs more men, and runs on outdated engines. So yeah. Last time the battleship was used was in 1980s, I think, during the first Gulf War. So yeah, let's move on to the maintainers. These basically are just people that maintain the current tech. They're the most important thing because they ensure that the fleet is ready. They ensure that everything is, like, working. No matter how much good your tech is, if you can't maintain it. Like the US, like B-52s from the 1950s, still flying today is crazy. And yeah, and then you got basically that's it. Innovators, reformers, and and maintainers. There's also another example on the reformers is the A10, the A10 airplane. Basically, it's just the famous bird machine gun on a plane. As you can see, it's very slow, it's costly, and it's very prone to detection by missiles, even cheap missiles. So it's basically outdated and useless, but it's still being pitched. They still cope by saying that very important in the battlefield, bro. That's why the US Air Force invested in prop dusters type planes, because the P-51, because they're cheaper for their special forces, whatever. And yeah, that's basically it. Unless I'm running out of air again. And it's 34 minutes. Still stuck on 28. But at least we're almost there. That's what matters. No shot. This is probably the longest video since Simple Parkour Map by Blame M. Yeah. Alright, let's take it slow. Let's finally do a proper commentary in the gameplay rather than some weird stuff that I'm yapping. Don't fall. Okay. Straight line. 29!
Checkpoint reached.
You're so close, just 6 more. So we didn't get the sub 35, but I remember the technique here. Basically just start here. I mean start here. What the flip? Why doesn't it work? That's odd. Alright, let's try the long way. You really want this? Okay, it doesn't want it. There's more, okay. Alright, there's a bump there, so we should be using it. Okay, I think I do know the answer to this. Just start here. What? I don't get it. So it definitely worked. I didn't record that, sorry, but it was a split second. Just speedy. Don't want to fall here. Booyah!
Reached.
34 minutes. I think Zaiqahal mentioned to me once more that there's like someone that did it sub 15 minutes or like 11 minutes, which is crazy. Crazy drive by that person or individual. No! Oh, I didn't realize that I could fall here. Sub 40 minutes? Is it possible? Sub 40 minutes. Let's go. Let's try that. No way. Okay, we did it.
Checkpoint reached.
Nice spin. 37 minutes. 3 minutes. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Don't lag now. Don't really like lag. What's this? Okay.
Checkpoint reached.
Woohoo! We are so close. Let's make this run perfect. Don't mess it up, Tickle. 34.
Checkpoint reached.
No freaking shot. So yeah, I think we are now close to the conclusion. So I will probably not add more anything. What the flip am I driving for? That's just how I drive. Like it's weird. Instead of a straight line. There we go. No way! Don't make me fumble here, please. I got stuck here back then. It took me like 1 hour when I first played this map. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yippee! 38 and 20 seconds. 38 minutes and 20 seconds.
Checkpoint reached.
So that's Jimmy's Speedy Mongoose Parkour. Yeah, I love it. I enjoyed it, even though I was commentating about something. That looks like a DNA, to be honest. Honestly, tidbit. Chips are much more smaller than or as small as DNA, which is crazy. TSMC, the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing hub, could basically make 2 nanometer, I think. I don't know, 2 millimeter or nanometer? I just don't. Nanometer probably, because it's now closer to the atomic level when it comes to chip making. It's crazy. It's the modern day current world. What do you call that? World engineering technology, and it's really impressive. Anyway, so that's Jimmy's Speedy Mongoose Parkour, and I do hope you enjoy my waff yapping. Anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.